What's going on, guys? Chase with Shinify here, and today we're going to be talking about this spreadsheet here that I've been building and how you can use it to start landing high-ticket clients that can pay you anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Now, I've been building this spreadsheet for a very long time. This is actually a spreadsheet that I started years and years ago inside of a garage when I started out living on my own when I was 23 years old. It's a little embarrassing, but I used to live with my parents until I was about 23. But anyways, I left my house, moved into a garage, and started building this spreadsheet so that I could basically automate my work for the clients that I was doing services for. And I got to about, I think it was around $50,000 a month before I stopped doing services and I started switching to doing content. But here you can see this is actually the timeline here. I started my services, I think, back in 2017, and boom, you can see 2019, I made about $31,000 on Stripe. And then I did about another $20,000 on PayPal, and I decided to let go of all my clients, switch to content. And now I do a bunch of stuff. I do affiliate courses, all kinds of stuff. But either way, today, everything I'm going to be telling you about is free. There are some things that you can pay for if you want, but they're definitely not required. So let's talk about, first of all, what this spreadsheet is, how to use it, and how to get access to it, and how to get started with it. So again, right here, this is a spreadsheet that originally was mainly for doing SEO work. If you don't know what SEO is, basically it's search engine optimization. And what search engine optimization means, let me put that down there. It means that we're trying to rank a website on Google. So we were doing a lot of work for websites that wanted to show up for things like, dentist in my area or roofing in my area. And I actually did a lot of content around ranking these different websites. In fact, I have a ton of different case studies showing me going out and ranking different websites for these different keywords using this spreadsheet. And so that original spreadsheet right here has so many different things that you can check on a website. So, does the site redirect to the preferred version? Is there an SSL certificate installed? There's all these different checks in here. And basically all we're doing is we're just doing like an X if it's good and a Z if it's bad, okay? And the idea is what we want to do is we want to be good at identifying issues for a potential website client or client's website. And so, inside of here, you can basically just start going through and checking off, whether or not they have certain things done or not. Now, what I've been doing lately is I've been actually building the 2.0 version of this roadmap. Now, the 2.0 version of this roadmap is now, instead of just doing the SEO stuff, getting people to rank on Google, I'm kind of going over everything a business is going to need in terms of, having a funnel, having an email list, having the ability to send text messages to their customers. And so this is kind of the next part of the list that I'm actually building. Now, there's two parts of this list. There's the free version. The free version basically just gives you all the checks. You can just grab the free checklist. Again, I'll leave it in the description of this video. And then the paid version just comes with the tutorial. So, if you already kind of know this stuff, you can grab the checklist, and you can go and just start using it. If you don't know this stuff, then you would go and buy like the paid version, which I'll also leave a link to. And the paid version would basically it's me taking a bunch of time to create content, just walking you through how to check each of these errors and how to fix them. Okay. So that's kind of the only two big differences. But again, the premise of this is that you want to use some sort of system to start being able to check for problems on websites or in businesses. And the reason why is because when I first started doing marketing for like services for clients, I realized that I was doing everything in a notepad. So what I would do is I would bring open a notepad like this, and I would go to their website and I would just start typing down all the things that I would find that were wrong. So I'd be like, number one, you don't have a button on your homepage. Number two, you don't have a phone number on the footer, right? So I would just start typing out all these things one by one. Now, that takes a really long amount of time, and I don't recommend that you do it that way. I recommend you use some sort of template. And so what I started doing is I was like, okay, if I'm doing a lot of these same checks every single time, eventually I want to just start, putting it into a checklist so I can just I can go back to the checklist and just start checking it off from there. And so that's when I came up with this checklist, which used to be a lot smaller. But inside this checklist, we cover all kinds of stuff: page speed optimization, web design, all kinds of stuff. And so what you do is that from a sales standpoint, let me talk about that really quick. So the checklist is not just great for finding the issues and figuring out what's wrong with a business. It's great for selling, okay? Because when I first started, I was the way I was selling to people is I would write down all their problems. I'd say, okay, number one, you got to fix this. Number two, you got to fix that kind of thing. But eventually I started using the checklist. And the reason why I needed to do these numbered lists is because I needed to tell the business owner what they needed to fix. If I didn't come up with a list of problems that the business owner needed to fix, I wasn't really able to sell them anything. And so it becomes a lot easier to sell things to people when you have a list of problems that you can fix. And that's why this spreadsheet's really cool, because if I can find 20 or 30 things that's wrong with the business, I can show them either on a screen share or on a recorded video or on a phone call, hey, these are all the things that we need to take care of. And so what you do is you go through this list, right? And you figure out, okay, what are all the things that they need to fix? And obviously, I would make sure that you do a client intake. We have a client intake part of the spreadsheet that I'm actually updating right now. But basically, we ask them, do you have a website? And do you have access to it? So we can, go get into it and check it out. Do you have social media? And do you have access to them? Can you give us access? How many leads are you getting? So we ask all these different questions. And then once we have all that information, we can start going through this checklist. Okay. So, do they have their keywords for their website or for their social media? Because guess what? If you can figure out what topics they want to show up for on Google or on Google Maps or on, YouTube, you can also show up for those topics on other places. Pretty much every social media is a search engine, right? So people are searching on TikTok for different things, right? And so we want to actually come up with a keyword game plan. We want to figure out, okay, how many people are searching for these different keywords every single month? And so we actually use certain tools for that. And we actually have a huge list of different tools in here that we use. But for example, even our company, Shinify, we have a keyword tool. And the keyword tool will tell us how hard is it to show up for these different keywords, who's ranking for these different keywords, so we can actually pull their competitors and see what their competitors are ranking for versus what they're ranking for. And we can see how many people are searching for these things, right? And so again, the idea is that if we can figure out the different topics they want to target, we can help them create content, whether it's through a blog post, whether it's through a YouTube video, whether it's through a social media post. And guess what? Our company also helps create content so that when it's time to actually go and make the content, let's say we sell this to them, we can show them, hey, look, we can make videos for you. And we actually just came out with a new feature in our tool where we now use stock video. And so this is really cool. I'm just showing you a quick overview. I'm not going to go super deep into this. If you want to see a video on this later, let me know. But here you can see it says if you're looking to elevate your SEO game, so we can use AI to go and generate a video based on the keyword that we want to get the person to show up for. We click on generate and then boom, we get a video that looks like this. And it has stock video built into it with, AI voice. All the scripts are AI generated. All of the prompts are AI generated for the video. So it's all basically AI besides the actual stock video. And then if we wanted to use, full AI, we actually have ChatGPT generated images if we want to use those too. So there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do. But the point I'm trying to make is that we want to find the things that they need to fix first. Oh, do you have keywords? Do you have a virtual assistant? Do you have a funnel? Do you have an email opt-in? Are you A/B testing your funnel? Are you, texting your customers? Do you have texting? Do you have A2P verification so you can text people? Can you send voicemail drops? There's so many cool things you can do in here. And then are you scheduling out your content? Are you generating content or are you repurposing content? Do you have a content schedule? Do you have your bio completed? Are you meta verified? There's so many things in here that we can go through. And there's just in this checklist here alone, there's over 200 checks. Okay. And so if you can't find a few things that they're doing wrong, I mean, I even know I'm doing stuff wrong from this checklist, right? It's hard to do all your marketing, even just doing it yourself. And so the point is here, you're not going to be able to get all this stuff done yourself, and neither are they. And so if you can find a few things that they need to fix, you can sell the solution. You can sell the fixes. Okay. So let me just show you here. We got all these different things, right? So let's say we go, okay, all this is good. This is bad. This is bad, 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 bad. Okay. So we go through here just like so. And then eventually what we can do at the end of the roadmap, we can duplicate this sheet here and we can go sort from Z to A. Boom. Now we have all the things they need to fix. Now, when we go on a call with them, we can explain here, hey, look, these are the things that you're not doing correctly. We can also just do it through here too, because here's the thing. When I first started working at a marketing agency, before I even started my own digital marketing agency, this is basically what we did. So what they had me do, and I was getting paid, just to let you know, I'll tell you like my full story here. I went from working from Radio Shack to working at an IT business where they had me building websites. I learned while I was there. And then I got hired at a SEO company, a digital marketing company. And then what would happen is they would get clients or people coming in, and I was the SEO guy. They hired me as like the main SEO guy, the digital marketing expert, whatever you want to call me. And they were paying me about $15 an hour to go and figure out what we needed to fix, right? So they would say, hey, Chase, we got this new digital marketing or this new company that wants, they want SEO for a website that sells, tech equipment or something like that. And I would say, okay, cool. And I would go to their website. And again, this is back in the Notepad days, right? So I'd bring up in a Notepad and I'd say, okay, they need to fix this. They need to fix this. And I would just do everything off the top of my head. And so after we would come up with that list, we would put it into like a spreadsheet or like a presentation. And we'd bring the client in, or the potential prospect, the potential client, and then they would have me talk about, hey, what are the things that you found? So I would, explain it to them. I go, you're not doing keywords, or you don't have any keywords. Your pages are loading slowly. You don't have a security certificate on your website. I just list out pretty much everything that I knew they needed to fix. And then we would show them like, okay, well, this is what a secure website looks like versus an unsecure website, which is what your website looks like. Or we'd say, this is what it looks like when you have keywords, right? This is what it looks like when you have competitor research. This is what it looks like when we did a full scan of all their pages. Like, this is all the stuff that we need to fix. Like, these are all the meta descriptions. And so ideally, like these, if you can do screen shares with people and bring stuff up for them like this, where you can go like, look, this is all red. That means that Google is truncating your meta description. It means that it's not reading the full thing, right? And you just want to show them like, here, look, this is the problem here. This is the problem there. And you can bring up all this stuff to them. You can go, look, here, you don't have an email opt-in. This is what an email opt-in looks like, right? Boom. And so you're just kind of showing them, you're kind of demonstrating like all this stuff. Like, hey, look, you could have this. You could have a landing page with a sales video on it. Like, we want to fix all this stuff for you, right? So you go through and you show them all the stuff they have to fix. Now, here's what happens. They go, cool, I want all this stuff. Or they say, well, I want this, but I don't want that, right? They can kind of choose what they want. But the idea is like, once you show them all these things, they're going to want to pay for the fixes because they're not going to want to go do all that stuff, right? The fact that stuff even exists, like a lot of the stuff is going to be new to them. They're going to be like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what a title tag is. I don't know what a meta description is, right? And so if you can show them like, we need to fix all this stuff, and they're going to go, okay, well, how much is it? And a lot of the times they're going to say it, right? You usually don't even have, like, they're going to start asking you for the price, like after, because you could make this call with 200 checks. You could make this call very, very long. Like, I'm telling you, you could have a 2 or 3 hour presentation, and they're going to start saying, well, okay, listen, I get it. I see the value here. I want to start paying for this. Like, what do I do? And then you would say, well, this is going to take us a while. This is probably like 3 to 6 months. And I'm telling you, with anybody's marketing, it's always going to be at least 3 to 6 months to get them up and running, because you got to do everything. Even if they're already doing some things, right? Even if they're already doing some content and sending emails, like, you still have to go in there and dial that stuff in. There's always stuff that you can improve. And so what I recommend is, come up with like a couple plans, maybe a $1,000 package, a $2,000 and a $3,000. You can just kind of say, well, with the $1,000 package, we get less done, but it's over a longer period of time, right? So $1,000 a month, 6 months, you can see what you like. You know, if you want it to be done faster, you want us to get more done more quickly, you know, it'd be like 2,000 or 3,000 and like probably a 3 to 6 month contract. But I would always try to get people on some sort of reoccurring model. First of all, because it's good for you. You want the reoccurring model. You don't have to constantly be getting new clients all the time. You know, once you have 5 or 10 clients on a $3,000 a month retainer, that's already like 15 grand, 20 grand a month. And so if you could just get that money coming in, you can stop focusing on having to work a regular job or trying to get new clients all the time. And you can just focus on dialing their stuff in. But secondly, like when you're doing this stuff, sometimes it does take a while, especially if people don't have pre-existing marketing, right? Like if they only have, you know, a website, or maybe they don't have a website at all, it can take a while to get ramped up, especially if you're doing organic, right? Like some people, I know a lot of people in the digital marketing space, they'll start selling ads to people. I'm not that guy. I've always done everything organic. Even my own marketing's pretty much always been organic. And the reason why is because I think organic's powerful enough if you can build it up. And I also think like organic's something where you can keep adding to it over and over. Like there's so much you can do with organic where, you know, with ads, it's like you're always spending all this money just to make money. And I think the margins are smaller on ads. Like I would rather put a bunch of money into content than a bunch of money into ads, or a bunch of money into acquiring, you know, social media profiles or something like that. So anyways, long story short, we pitch them with this template. We educate them on it. Now, obviously, if you don't know how to do this stuff, you would probably want to go and educate yourself on this. And you can watch my free videos. I have thousands of videos on YouTube you can go watch for free. I've done plenty of audits in the past. Or you can obviously go and grab the full version of this, which I'm building the 2.0 version of right now. But so you might be wondering, okay, well, I understand with the roadmap, find the problems, pitch them the solutions, sell them on a retainer. But you might also be wondering, well, okay, but like, do I give them this for free? Like, how do I get the initial lead, right? Because a lot of the times what people, I think, get confused about is like, I understand how to do a roadmap, or I understand how to help give people, identify problems, give people the solution and try to sell them, but I don't understand how to get that lead in the door. And there are so many ways to start bringing in leads, right? And I think part of it is also even doing this roadmap for yourself, okay? So, you know, if you're not already doing these things for yourself, sometimes I think it's hard to go and recommend doing it for other people, right? So what I always teach when I'm teaching like people, coaching them like one-on-one or in a group environment is that, you know, go learn this stuff by setting it up for yourself, right? So like start scheduling out your own content. Start getting your own keyword lists. Start getting your own opt-in page, your own opt-in funnel. Like start understanding how to do this stuff for yourself, because, you know, first of all, you want to understand it so that you can sell it. But second of all, this stuff really does work. It doesn't matter who it's for. If you do keyword research for yourself and start creating content, and you can start automating it, and you have content going out every day, pretty soon you're going to start seeing some leads come in. Okay. And there's little hacks in the spreadsheet, by the way, that I'm actually putting in here right now. This is actually something that I updated today, but you know, there are like little things that, like, for example, a lot of people don't know that they can invite a bunch of friends on their personal Facebook, and you can convert that personal Facebook into a business page where the friends get transferred to followers. So now you have 5,000 followers on a Facebook page. You start putting content on that. Boom. Now you're getting reach and you're getting leads. And so there's a lot of little things that you can do to get an edge. And ideally, like if you can get started today, right? This isn't like one of those strategies where you start making money because you turn on some ads, or you start like cold calling businesses and all of a sudden you just start making all this money like the next day. This isn't that. This is more like, okay, well, if we're going to build a business, we want to build it the right way. We want to have landing pages. We want to have an email list. We want to have everything that we need so that when we get set up, we're good to go, right? And we have an automated system that runs for us day and night. And we want that for our clients too, because the idea is a lot of this stuff, once it's running, you're getting paid reoccurring just to maintain it. And the cool thing is, like, you can set up an agreement with the client where you say, look, I'm going to do all this stuff for you. I'm going to build your website. I'm going to do your social media content. I'm going to do everything. But if you stop paying me, it all goes away. And you can put that as part of the contract. Now, if they already have existing assets, like they already have a website and everything, obviously you can't say I'm going to remove your website because they already own it. But definitely what you can do is you can say that the leads that we're bringing in and the assets that I'm building. So if you're building like an opt-in page or a sales page or all the stuff that you're building for them, you can say, I'm going to remove that because I don't want to give you something or keep managing something under my accounts if you're not paying for it. And so there's different ways to do it. You don't have to do it that way, but that is one way to do it. But here's the other cool thing. You can get your prospects to sign up for your different links. So if you're saying, okay, well, in order to do what we're doing here, I need you to go get a ManyChat account. Or in order to do what we're doing here, I need you to go get a Shinify account or any sort of tool or product that you need to do your job. You can have them pay for that stuff as part of the agreement. And you actually get an affiliate cut of a lot of the things that you're promoting, as long as you obviously get accepted to the affiliate programs. And so even if they cancel the services with you, you're still getting paid out every month by that affiliate. And so you can actually start building up your own affiliate revenue. And this is how you can start getting into, eventually, if you ever want to do what I did, which is get rid of the clients, you can just switch to like some sort of affiliate reoccurring model where you're getting paid out every single month and you don't actually have to really do anything besides just collect the checks and get people to sign up for these different affiliate tools. And then eventually you can do content as well. That's the other plus side of doing this kind of stuff, which is that like if you start doing these audits, if you start doing these roadmaps, you can start recording content and turning this stuff into content. That's how I built my entire career. Is I started doing roadmaps, teaching people, okay, here's what I'm doing here. Here's how I'm ranking a roof repair website. I would show everything in real time, what I'm doing with these different sites. And then people would buy stuff from me because I was creating content out of it, right? And so people don't realize that if they have clients, right? If you have a client, it's some of the best content you can create because you have a real case study in front of you. And if you can just record what you're doing, just do a simple video like, hey guys, just working on this website right now. That's the type of content that people love seeing. And it's something where you can use that content as a way to sell things online, like affiliate products. And by the way, with this spreadsheet, you can also change out the logo, right? So you can delete the logo like that, upload your logo, change this picture, whatever, I don't care. And that's kind of the basics to getting started with digital marketing, having some sort of spreadsheet, having some sort of process, building some sort of free value. And I actually recently have been doing content showing you, by the way, this is a video I did yesterday, which I recommend you check out. But there's so many different ways that you can use the little things in this spreadsheet to get your foot in the door, right? So for example, in this video here, it was like an hour training I did. It was a group coaching call inside our Discord group. If you're not in our Discord group, go join it. It's free to join. But inside of this Discord call, what I did is I was showing people how to get your foot in the door by finding people that don't have any social media content. And then you use AI to go and create content for them. And that's how you get your foot in the door so that you can start offering them this roadmap. And I think the secret to this roadmap, right, is that you can use any part of one of these checks, any of these 200 checks, and you can use that as a way to get your foot in the door with these businesses, right? So for example, let's say somebody doesn't have a mobile friendly website. You go and look at different websites. You say, okay, this website's not mobile friendly. You can tell the business, hey, can we give you a free mobile friendly website? Which, by the way, is very easy to do because if you have a tool like High Level or, a lot of the tools that I talk about, most of these tools already have a lot of this stuff done. And so you can present to them their new mobile friendly website with like one click. And then you use that as a way to build the connection, build the relationship. And once you have that thing built, that first value you're giving, now you can offer them what? The roadmap. Okay. So that's why I'm saying here, like if you can just learn how to identify issues, right? If you can find, 200 different things and you can find one thing wrong with their marketing. Maybe they're not posting on social media. Maybe they're not mobile friendly. Maybe they don't have any buttons on their site. Maybe they don't have a Google My Business. Maybe they don't have I'm not going to say schema markup because this gets a little bit complicated, but let's go back to the easy stuff. Maybe they don't have an Instagram page. Maybe they're not posting every day. Maybe they're not using stories. Maybe, you see what I'm saying? It just goes on. Maybe they're not responding to their comments. Maybe their bio is not completed. Like I could go through so many different things. And that's like, this isn't even everything. Like you could look, I'm sure if you go through a company, if you look at a company, any company, doesn't even matter. I bet you even Amazon, I'm sure you could find something wrong. Okay. Now, obviously you're not going to reach out to Jeff Bezos, but my point here is that if you can find one thing and then you offer to fix it for free, right? And that's the real secret. And I used to walk into businesses all the time and I would say, hey, is there a reason why your Google business is closed right now? Or is there like, you know, something random, right? Like anything that's wrong. And then I would show them like, here, look on the phone. Every single time they'd be like, what? And they would bring the business owner. The business owner would come out and they'd be like, oh my God, you know, I thought that, why is it like that? And then boom, there's your opportunity. Hey, I can fix this for you. I'm an expert at this. It's really easy. Oh, really? You're an expert? Yeah. And also, and you can bring this on your phone too. You can be like, I also have a spreadsheet. I have a checklist. Like, you know, there's like 200 things I could check. You want me to do it for free? Happy to do it. You have a direct line. Boom. You get their direct line. You do the roadmap and then you tell them, hey, let's jump on a screen share. Boom. Now you have 50 things that are wrong with your website, 100 things. And you just tell them, look, here you go. And in the worst case scenario, you do the roadmap for them, right? And they say no. But if you record a video, you get the content out of it and boom, now you have content showing what you're doing, showing what you know, and somebody else is going to be interested because even if I did roadmaps for people and they didn't buy from me, I would still record videos like what you're watching right now. And then I would turn that video into content. I would get a client from YouTube, right? Or I get a client from Instagram or whatever. And so that's what I'm saying is like, if you can just start using this and learning it and start demoing it and start doing it for people, start recording it, you can use all that movement to even use this roadmap for yourself so that you can get your own content, your own marketing going. And so the idea is like getting started and the hardest part is just going to be going and learning it, right? If you're brand new and you're like, I don't know how to do any of this, I would say don't get like worried, right? Because I'll be honest with you, I dropped out of high school, I dropped out of college. I never felt smart. I was always the last guy on everything. Like it didn't matter what it was. In sports, I was like the worst. In school, I had the lowest grade point average. Everybody told me like I was like the least likely to make it. Everybody thought I was going to be the one that wasn't successful. And so my point is I thought that too. I didn't think I was that smart. And even my first few jobs, like my first 4 or 5 jobs were like working at Starbucks, working at an ice cream stand, you know, working as a busboy, all these like random jobs. I never thought that I was going to be anything, right? I couldn't even pass algebra. And so if you're intimidated by all this stuff, don't think that I'm like this superhuman that's like way ahead of you. A lot of this stuff is like super easy to figure out. Like, okay, you think it's that hard to figure out how to post on Instagram, you know, 1 time a day, auto respond to Facebook. Again, it's a tool that does that. All of this stuff's actually really straightforward if you learn it. I'm serious. It's not rocket science. So either way, if you want the checklist, you want to go through all of it, go for it. I'm going to keep building it. I don't even have a sales page yet because I used to have one. Now I need to build a new one. So it should be out in the next few days by the time this comes out. But, you know, you want the free checklist, I'll leave it in there. But yeah, you know, get started with this. If you're like, I don't have a client, you know, I don't have a way to make money yet, or I want to get more clients, or I want to, you know, another thing that you might want to think about is like, this is a way for you to add additional revenue. If you have a client, and I see this all the time, people have clients and they're like, well, I do their website and they give me like $1,000 a month. That's it? You just do their website? Like, why don't you do other stuff? Like if you did their website and then you did their videos and then you did their email and you did all this other stuff, like think about how much more valuable you're going to seem to that person. And so like the idea is that instead of just being one type of person that's like, oh, I just do websites, or, oh, I just do email, or I just do like this one thing. I just do video. Do the full thing. All of it's automated, right? Like the system that I have, the one that I have running, that's this whole spreadsheet's built off of, I don't have to do anything. Like I actually have to force myself to do things because I get bored. And so like, I don't even have to do this long form video. I could have somebody else do this long form video, but you know, at some point I want to create my own content. And so all I'm saying is like, you can automate everything. You could literally take everything that a business needs, their emails, their texts, their videos, their blogs, like everything. And you could automate all of it with all these tools. Like, I mean, and it's not even that many. It's like, what is this, 6 tools here? So we're in a different time these days. And I think the idea is like, you want to learn how to automate everything so that you can start selling automation. I think the problem is people are still doing it all themselves. They're going out and they're doing, you know, a website. They're like custom doing it themselves. Like, there's a template for that. There's a tool for that. They're going out and editing their own videos or editing other people's videos. AI can do it. Like, everything can be automated now. It's absolutely insane. Like, it's crazy. But I think people are so behind still that it's like they don't realize that everything can be automated. And so the idea is like, if you're already doing something, you already have a client, automate that first part and then add more on top of it so you can charge more money. And one other thing I want to mention, by the way, is like, when it comes to selling this stuff, people are always going to ask, well, what is the deliverable, right? Like, because they're going to say, well, I'm going to get all this stuff done, but what is the deliverable? The deliverable is you're trying to get them more leads, right? And so you do want to figure out, that's why in the client intake, you want to figure out like, well, what is the goal? Are you trying to get them more leads? Are you trying to get them more, you know, booked calls? That's basically a lead. Are you trying to get them more sales on a service? That's basically leads. It's always going to be leads, right? And so, but you want to figure out what their benchmark is. You want to set a line, because the thing that's going to happen, and this happened to me multiple times when I had clients, is like, they're going to say, you know, you did all this stuff for me, but I don't know if it did anything. And that's when you say, well, you know, how many leads did you have when you started? Well, let's say when they started, they told you they had 100. And then if you start tracking all of this, which by the way is in here, you know, analytics, conversion tracking, even having some sort of funnel where you can track all their leads. You want to do call tracking and lead tracking. You can be like, look, you're getting 200 leads a day now. So you're doing pretty good, right? And that actually was a specific conversation I had with somebody one time, a roof repair client. I think it might even still be on here. Roof repair SEO Chase. I don't even know if it's still on here. But he called me. He's like, you know, I don't even know if it's working. It might be this one right here. And I was like, dude, your leads are doubled. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you're tracking that, because I thought I wasn't. I think it might even actually be this call here. You can see I'm on the phone with him. I don't know. Go check that out. But very funny. Very funny. This guy wound up ranking #1 for roof repair in like Texas. I don't know if he still is. But so, yeah, try it out. I just realized my video this entire time had this little cutoff at the top. Hopefully that didn't look too bad. I don't know. Try it out. Let me know what you think. That's the video. That's how you get started. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to leave links and resources in the description. If you want me to make more videos like this in the future, or you made it to the end, tell me. But that's it. We'll see you in the next one. Until we do, happy money making. See you next time. Bye.